Hey everybody, this is Lincoln's Mullet, aka Zordfish. I was one of the closed beta testers for Ultimate General Civil War. Just wanted to take a look at a battle or two here, kind of go over some of the basics of the game, primarily the camp screen here, which is new to the series, and of course some of the combat you're going to experience in the game. So I just beat the first two missions for the Confederates. As you can see here, the career section is lit up. Allows you to pick different skill levels you can train yourself on, give you better benefits. Politics is, to me, one of the better choices. You get a lot more men and gold to keep your army trained and armed and better veterans and all that stuff. So this definitely helps you. Even when you lose or you draw, you still get additional golden recruits through this. Economy is good to keep your weapon costs down. Some of the better weapons cost a lot of money, so having even a 10 or 15% discount in the long term saves a lot of money. Medicine's good if you have a lot of veterans, because they will give you back some of those troops, and they're very expensive troops to upkeep. So medicine, get up to 10%. You lose 20,000 men. 2,000 of them are restored for free. Training as another useful skill. Veteran recruits can become very, very expensive, especially with higher level brigades. And obviously you put better weapons in their hands. So veteran points in veterancy definitely helps if you plan on having a lot more veteran troops in your army. You want to keep them. And Army Org is really critical skill to have. It's a little bit different than the other ones in that it expands your army size by giving you more divisions, more corps, more brigades per division, and max brigade size. So early on in the game, it's not too important to focus on this. You don't need Army Org probably until after Shiloh, I would say. For the Confederates anyway. I can't really speak about the Union. I haven't played the Union campaign too much. But it's not until later on when you can actually start bringing multiple corps to a battle, such as Gaines Mill. You can bring, I believe, 4 different corps to the battle, which isn't necessary to play the battle, but it helps if you want to have reinforcements come in during the battle, or if you want to do flanking attacks. It gives you that option. But early on, Army Org isn't too necessary to focus on. So logistics, additional ammo. I haven't found this too useful yet. As long as you have supply wagons properly moving around the map and properly filled, not too often you're going to run out of ammo. Usually on the bigger battles you have to worry about that take a long time to complete. But it is good to have at least 1 point in logistics. Definitely gives you a little bit extra time to fight. And then the cannons. Your cannons are ammo eaters and will drain your supply wagons if you let them just fire all day. So logistics here, if you plan on having a lot of cannons, logistics will definitely help you keep those cannons firing longer and not drain your supply. And reconnaissance helps you kind of know what you're up against. There's a bit of unknown in each map. You can play the same map twice, and because of the game design, there could be different amounts of enemy troops than the last time you played it. So reconnaissance kind of helps you gauge what you're up against and help you determine whether you should stick out and fight the battle, or maybe pull back and retreat, not lose so many men. If you think you're coming into an easier fight and you end up having a lot more enemy troops coming at you than you thought, it might not be worth it to sit there and let them destroy your army. And then later levels of this allows you to actually see individual brigade statuses, so that's helpful. Alright, so that was a bloody fight. for the first 2 missions, but I did win. Reputation, very important. Reputation is another currency, another form of currency. You go up here, you can request different items from the government. As your fame increases with each battle that you win, you gain more reputation to request, you know, better rifles. You know, these are very expensive rifles, especially right now, early in the game. So being able to use a little bit of reputation to get these and put these in my top 2 brigades is definitely a nice little perk to have. But if you lose too much reputation, you will lose you lose the game. You'll lose your command, and game's over. You got to restart, and I hope you do better next time. So you don't want to constantly dip into your reputation. Sometimes it's good to have a higher reputation, because it will start giving additional morale bonus across the board. So you may get like a 2% increase in your morale for all your troops, which is useful in later battles. Or just keep building it up in anticipation of possibly losing a battle or 2, and having basically some in the bank to withstand some losses. So it's not always good to use your reputation to order more weapons and troops and stuff like that. Alright, so I took quite a beating in the first 2 battles. You can see my 2 brigades have a lot of experience, but it's only because there's less than 300 men in each one. Now, you can choose between rookie or veteran. One mistake people can have is constantly replenishing all of their brigades with veterans, or trying to always do veteran replenishment. And it's a very expensive thing to do. You really want to focus on 1 or 2 brigades, especially early on. Maybe later on when you have a few corps, you can add some more brigades in that mix for veterancy. But it's very expensive. You really don't want to do this too much. Just focus on a few brigades max, and make those guys your go-to guys in every battle. As you can see, I've only brought it up 600 men, and it cost me $21,000 to get it up to this point. Now, an alternative to maxing out this brigade and keeping all my stats intact is to kind of do a halfway replenishment. And then replenishing the rest of my troops with rookies, so it's not a huge hit to my experience levels. Obviously, you can see your firearms, melee, morale, and efficiency all go down as those new recruits get thrown into the mix and have to be taught what to do.
Yes, sir.
But it's okay. I'd rather have a full brigade, especially since I only have 2 brigades right now. So as you can see, let's try this with just rookie and see what kind of drop there is. Alright, so huge drop in stats by doing all rookies, and as you can see up here with the with Alfred Kemper's experience level, he gets this little bonus here on discipline. But if you replenish too many of your troops with rookies, see how that disappears? The experience goes down, my morale and efficiency bonus goes down. So you don't want to take that away. I want to drop my replenishment back down to make sure I still get that bonus for discipline. So I'm going to do a half and half here again. He still gets his bonus. There you go. Let me go use my career point. So I don't know. Medicine's probably fairly useful now in the early stages, and get some of my men back. Politics is always good. I mean, right now I'm getting a plus 10% on golden recruits. So if you go to the battle maps here, if I play Newport News and I win, you know, I'm gonna get quite a bit more cash and men back with that 10%. I'm gonna get almost 500 more men out of that currently, and another 6,000, 6.5, 6.3 back out of that the cash. So it adds up. You know, not just one battle, but you know, I come here, play first bull run, I get another 10%. I mean, $18,000 is quite a bit of money. So definitely keep that in mind. You definitely want some points in politics. 3 is definitely a good start, and earlier the better, because every battle you win, you're getting that much more in men and cash. So, all right, I'm gonna do medicine. I already got some in politics. Medicine. All right, so another thing you want to do is, if you're unfamiliar with some of these maps, you can go to these battles and kind of see what you're up against, see what kind of men, how many brigades you can bring to a particular battle. So in this map, you're restricted to 3 brigades. You know, I put my corps in there. I only have 2 brigades right now, so I want to get a 3rd brigade to maximize my effectiveness here in the battle. And with those 2 brigades, I have 6,914 total soldiers. That's with reinforcements. Some of the Virginia Militia will be joining me. But as you saw with my other troops, I only have 3,730 soldiers. So I'm gonna go back to camp. I want to make 1 more brigade. Artillery is good here. Newport News, definitely useful, but early on in the game, I definitely stress focusing on infantry. Don't have quite enough money here, so I gotta drag that down. That's okay. So, don't have any other info. So, yeah. So all my rifles are in the shop. I don't have any extra rifles. Rifles are very important to increasing your ability. They are expensive. You know, I'm using the basic rifle here with my new brigade. It's the farmer. And you can click on other rifles here to kind of see what their bonuses are compared to the one you currently have. So the reboard farmer, you lose a little bit of melee, but you have better efficiency, and also you can see the more finer details with fire rate, accuracy. Accuracy goes up a little bit too with the reboard farmer. The standard rifle, Springfield M1842, fire rate's a lot better. But as you can see, it's a much more expensive weapon. I can save $4,000 going with the farmer. If you don't have quite enough money to get something you want to check out your armory. Your armory has a lot of extra stuff. Not right now because it's still early. But captured weapons, artillery, cannon, stuff like that. If you find you have a whole bunch of stuff you don't really want to use anymore, you can sell it, get that extra money. Like in this case, with my infantry brigade. If I wanted a little bit better weapon, maybe I go sell some weapons first. Things like cavalry weapons or skirmisher weapons I'm not going to use. I can sell that and get enough money to give my guys better arms. So I'm just going to go with it and see their stats compared to my more veteran brigades, and they make a big difference. Especially when these veteran brigades start getting up into the 60s and 70s range. They really become a force to be reckoned with. So Siegfried and Kemper are typically the first 2 brigades I'll focus on with my veterans after every battle, and make them just really elite units. Supply, don't need supply in these smaller battles. Usually don't need to bring any supply with you. So I'm just going to go right into this battle now and see what I can do. It was very brave to deny Donald Trump's call to arms and join the Confederacy's cause. The Union is trying desperately to convince the locals to not secede and is infesting Virginia with military forces. Numerous Union infantry is approaching our town from 3 different directions: northwest, north, and northeast. Fight will protect the town and show to the Yankees that we are not going to let our lands undefended. Okay. Incoming Union force is too strong to stop them. We can only delay them, so it is advised to deploy skirmishers and advance north of the town to gain more time for our reinforcements. Okay. Alright, so here's the deployment screen. If you have more than 3 brigades, if I had 5, I'll have the option of removing a brigade on here and putting a different one down. You can mix and match who you want to bring into the battle. All right, so Chapman's my rookie brigade. I'm gonna protect him because he's green and I don't want him running away the first sign of combat. So let's start this battle. I'm gonna detach skirmishers. This is one of the new features with Ultimate General Civil War. Detaching skirmishers, very important. Do not forget that this is an option. Extremely useful to delaying enemy infantry and generally just harassing troops while you set up defenses or maneuver around. They're good for flanking. They're just really annoying units that you can use to great advantage. Another new feature with Ultimate General Civil War are the defensive locations here. Light fortification gives extra 25% cover bonus, extra damage resistance, and better melee bonus. So these are found in different maps, different locations. They're very useful to use, so definitely use them. Your units will not volley fire from these locations. They kind of take fire at will orders from these positions, but they reload a lot faster too. Alright. Better get out of here. These guys are coming quick. Run! Run! Oof. Siegfried services. The AI did really good there. They didn't stand and get picked off by my skirmishers. So. Let's see if I can get these guys out of here. Cavalry's excellent against skirmishers. Excellent against cannons, artillery. Generally not a good idea to send them up against enemy infantry brigades. Alright, so Siegfried's skirmish is pretty beat up, so once I get control of them, the morale's wavering, so you don't have control over them. I'm going to reattach them to Siegfried's brigade. Cover is hugely important. Even this little wheat field here, as you can see, adds a 60% cover bonus for my troops. Really reduces your casualties. Poe is very aggressive. The general unit, keep him nearby. He grants morale efficiency bonuses to your troops when he's nearby, so you can see his radius. So I'm going to keep these guys over here because there's a crossing, river crossing here. They can come across. They can come over this north, right across from the city. And with the AI, you don't know what they're going to do. They could attack right over this river the first time, or they could flank over this side the next time. So you have to be prepared. So you can dismount your cavalry if they have decent weapons for shooting at long range. They're good to dismount and act like skirmishers. These guys don't really have the greatest rifles for that, but here's the mission stats. You can get a little bit better idea of your victory conditions by clicking on this. And towns, any kind of town building that you can occupy, grants a ton of cover. They're really effective at reducing casualties. It's one of those things you really have to kind of charge and melee or have overwhelming numbers to inflict a lot of damage on people in these towns. Alright, Union Brigade's coming from the west. Let's see what they do. Saw some people in the forum asking about group controls and drag controls and stuff like that. I mean, group controls, left click, you can highlight all your units and then right click where you want them to go. Alright, here comes the militia. If you want to do the Ultimate General Gettysburg drag movement, you just use the left mouse button and drag it where you want it to go. So it's still all there, still very useful. Another cool thing you can do is you can draw a line now for your units. So I have all my units selected. I can draw a line with my right mouse button. I hold it down, drag it down, and that's how they'll line up their defenses. You can do it in different shapes, but generally this is good for just lining up your units in order, so they're not grouping up on each other or bouncing around. You can get them in just the position you want them in, spaced perfectly. Right, time to get on your horses. Get on out of here. So they're coming strong north of the city. And even east, they got 2 full brigades. Another thing you can do is you can join brigades into a full division. So if I click this button to combine division, B will join up with Ewell or Bartow, and they'll become a single brigade. Definitely useful when certain brigades have taken a lot of losses. So I'm gonna try and curl Robinson's flank here. Attach skirmishers. We'll deal with these guys. So these guys are successfully delaying these guys, but now they're broken. But buys enough time. Buys enough time. Definitely helps. Oh man. Oh, good use of the cavalry. And I think Evans is wounded. I'm gonna reattach these guys. Let's get up here. Time to bring the fight to them. I'm gonna keep your units together. You want to pace your marching. Don't get too eager and rush your guys up to where you want to go. Obviously, the closer they are to the enemy target, the more damage they'll do. But it's okay to stand and fight if you have a nice advantage. You kind of see where the battle's gonna take you before you commit yourself too much. So, see, I'm already getting beat pretty bad here, so I'm gonna pull back, take a breather. They're outnumbering me right now. Trying to rush. Kemper's well defended. He's very experienced, so he should be doing pretty good, just like Siegfried was able to hold that initial rush to the north. So I got Chapman, my rookies in the back, safely plunking away. Howard's starting to break. Get the cavalry in there. Guys, annoying. Let's try to get this up. Supplies. So now if I can get these, flank Robinson, I can get a little bit of an advantage here. Alright, they're coming strong now. Got Robinson flanked. Come on. Got him right in the kill zone. Bartow's taking that beat from these guys now. Alright, Siegfried's routed. I gotta bring Chapman up. And the reserves. On Bernie now. I don't want to get too eager because Robinson's still strong. You know, they're gonna rout, but they're gonna come back. If I put Bartow too far ahead, Robinson will start really doing some damage. So I'm not gonna be too eager here. I'm gonna focus on Bernie. Oh man, that cavalry's. Whew. I got 13 minutes to hold this down. So that flanking damage really does a lot of morale. hit. Very important. Well, there goes Evans. Get B up in this cover. Any chance you can get your guys in cover, take it. Standing out in the open like this, it's really just a recipe to massive casualties. Alright, I can continue the fight, but it's generally better just to accept the win, save your men. I'm obviously in a position to still lose a lot of men, so I don't really want to do that. So I've successfully held the town. I'm going to finish, get the after action report. Alright, 7,300 men against their 11,385. I lost 2248, and they lost 3262 plus some cavalry. Some missing officers. Nobody killed, injured, or promoted. Alright, so I rescued some rifles, captured some rifles. Very useful. One of the benefits of winning a battle is you get a lot more rifles rescued, and really saves a lot of money when you're building your new brigades. Alright, so Chapman got some experience. He was my rookie brigade. He got a little experience, didn't lose too many men, so it's good. Endurance course, discipline training. This is basically between choosing morale, choosing speed. Depends on what you want. Morale's always good if you want your guys to stay in the battle longer. Speed's obviously very good if you're trying to get guys into the battle faster. So, gain more experience here. Got my career point. I think I'm gonna go with Army Org. Gives me an extra brigade, so I get 4 brigades per division. Alright, so if I do veteran for Siegfried, $18,000 out of 63, that's fine.
Sir, yes, sir.
So, part of that is I have Springfields now. I captured some Springfields, so I don't have to pay for those. It's just paying for the veterancy. And Chapman. So Chapman, if I do veteran, it's only 8,000. But if I go up to Springfields, it's going to cost me 10,000 just to upgrade to Springfield. So I don't know if I want to do that.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Let's see. So my next battle, first Bull Run. It's a lot to gain here, a lot to gain. So I'm going to see what I can bring to the battle first before I continue. Alright, so I can bring 4 brigades up against 26,000. And I have 4,500 men currently in my army. So very limited what I have here. So I don't know if I should go with artillery or infantry. I think I'm going to make my first artillery brigade here. Artillery tends to benefit more from higher level officers with anything past 8 guns. So I'm gonna go with a colonel, and that's just a way of, I don't have anyone in reserve. I haven't gotten anybody extra, but you can go straight to the academy without having to go to the barracks, and just pick someone out of there, and you'll hire them directly into the new brigade, which is what I did. So 12-pound howitzers are usually pretty good. 12-pounder Napoleons are very good. Only got 7 of those, but you know what? I'm gonna do it. So it cost me 12,000 to make that, so I'm gonna go with that. Supply, I'm gonna need some supply. It's a little bit longer map, so I'm gonna bring a little bit with me. It's hard to say what the rule of thumb is with supply. I mean, you have 4,600 soldiers. You want to bring at least that much in supply. But it depends. You know, cannons use a lot more supply up. So if you have a lot more cannons, you're going to want to, you know, add a little cushion for that. If it's a grand battle, you know it's going to last a lot longer. So if you have the room, which I do, you know, maybe a little extra supply doesn't hurt. And if you don't use all your supply, it's not like it disappears. So if I bring 8,000 supply to the battle and I only use 4,000, it's not like the other 4,000 goes to waste. So if you have extra cash to bring, it doesn't hurt to just bring the extra supply. Unless your supply wagon gets captured, then that's no bueno. So that's it. That's a basic rundown of the game. Just one little battle here. The next battle, First World War's a lot longer, so I'm going to split that up into another video. It's pretty difficult for the Confederates, considering how little troops you start with. So takes a little time to figure that one out, and I'll show you how to go about that one. That's basically it. Hope you're enjoying the game, and I'll see you next time. Later.